Imagine with me for a minute the tale of two very different holidays. You walk in exhausted from work, an in law perhaps immediately makes a passive aggressive comment about your parenting. A sibling brings up old school childhood stuff. Someone had too much wine and said something they couldn't take back. By dinner, you're clenching your jaw so hard that you're giving yourself a headache. Your spouse was disappointed. Your kids sensed all the tension. And when we did the obligatory, what are you thankful for? If it's around Thanksgiving or even just how are you thankful this holiday season? Your kid says, I don't know, video games. You go home that night feeling like you failed. Failed as a husband, failed as a dad, failed as a son. Now imagine for me a very different holiday. Everything was different. Not because families suddenly became perfect. They didn't. Same people, same potential for conflict, but you were different. Starting 2 weeks before that holiday, your immediate family practiced a daily gratitude system. The week before, you mapped out your family relationships using something called the 3 rings model. You identified which relationships were healthy, which were toxic. You set clear boundaries and communicated them in advance. You activated something called the Oola Accelerators to shift your mindset from defense to intention. And when tensions arose at dinner, because they did, you didn't explode or shut down. You responded with calm, loving boundaries. The result? Your kids saw you model healthy relationships. Your wife felt protected and partnered with, and you went home feeling like you'd won. Not because you beat anyone at anything, but because you showed up as the man and father you actually wanted to be. My name is Haasenritter, and I help high-achieving dads scale their business without failing their families. And today I'm going to give you the complete holiday harmony framework, everything you need to navigate the holidays with gratitude, boundaries, and peace, and do so without losing your sanity. If you implement even half of what I'm about to show you, this could be the best holiday season your family has ever had. So let's get started. Before we get to solutions, we really need to diagnose the problem, because the reason the holidays are hard isn't just difficult people. There are blockers, there are invisible forces, if you will, that keep you trapped in old destructive patterns. I want you to be honest about this holiday season coming up. I learned these blockers through something called the Oola Lifestyle Framework, so shout out to Dr. Dave and Dr. Troy. There's 7 blockers, there's 7 accelerators, and we're going to apply them through the lens of the holiday season. So blocker number 1 is fear. Fear of confrontation. Fear of being the bad guy. Fear of your kids witnessing conflict. So what do? You bite your tongue. You swallow disrespect, and you let resentment build. Blocker number 2 is guilt. But it's family, you say. They're getting older. I should just deal with it. Guilt keeps you showing up to toxic situations because you've been conditioned to believe love means enduring abuse. It doesn't. Blocker number 3 is anger. Unresolved wounds from the past. Your dad never apologized. Your sibling still treats you like you're 12. Every holiday rips open the same scar. You're not angry about any particular comment. You're angry about 30 years of comments. Blocker number 4 is self-sabotage. You know that bringing up politics will end up badly, but part of you just wants to blow up because part of you wants permission to stop pretending. Blocker number 3 is laziness, or in this case, avoidance. It's easier to just go along, you say. I don't want the drama. So you avoid the hard conversation, avoid setting boundaries, and nothing actually changes. Number 6 is envy. You see other families' perfect holiday photos on social media and think, why can't mine be like? Comparison is the thief of joy, and comparison makes you feel even worse about your specific reality. Blocker number 7 is lack of focus. You walk into the holidays with no plan, no boundaries, no strategy, just hoping it magically goes better this year. It probably won't. So before we talk about gratitude or boundaries, you need a framework for understanding family relationships, because not all family relationships are created equal, and treating them the same will actually destroy your holidays. I use something called the 3 family rings model. You can think of it as concentric circles. Ring number 1 is your primary family. It's your inner circle. This is your spouse and your kids, your immediate family. These are the relationships you are most responsible for protecting, for nurturing, and for prioritizing. But here's the rule. When there's a conflict between ring 1 and ring 2 or 3, ring 1 wins every single time. No exceptions. If an in-law disrespects your wife, you protect ring one. If a sibling from ring two tries to guilt trip you into staying later, but your kids from ring one are exhausted, ring one wins. This clarity alone will transform your holiday decision making by thinking about the relationships in concentric circles going out. Ring number two, outside of that, is extended family. This is your parents and siblings, your in-laws, grandparents, aunts, uncles, close cousins, people you have significant relationships with, but not your primary responsibility. You love them, you want healthy relationships, but their needs do not override ring one ever. And here's the distinction. Not all ring two relationships are the same. Some are healthy, some are toxic. So we'll address that in a minute. Ring number three is the outer circle. It's basically everyone else. Distant cousins, friends of the family, your uncle's new girlfriend, people you see once a year, if that. You can be polite and kind to ring three without sacrificing ring one or two. So here's your first action step. Before the holidays, map your family into three rings. Literally write it down. Who's in ring one? That one's easy. Of course, it's your spouse and kid. Who's in ring two? Write their names in ring two. This is extended family. And who's in ring three? It's everyone else that you're probably going to meet at that holiday party. Then within ring two, identify which relationships are healthy and actually add value to your life and which relationships are toxic and draining. This is the foundation because you can't set boundaries until you know who needs boundaries. The second foundation is the three-part gratitude system. This is building the culture before the chaos. Now that you have clarity on who matters most, let's talk about how to build a culture of gratitude before the holiday chaos hits. Most people try to force gratitude at holiday functions. Quote, everyone say what you're thankful for, right? We've always been put on the spot with that. And it feels hollow. It feels forced. But the secret is to build a gratitude rhythm before the holidays so it's authentic when it actually matters. So here's the system. Part one is personal gratitude. You can do this in a couple of minutes a day. Start 10 to 14 days before the holiday. Every morning, write down three specific things you're grateful for. Not vague, very specific. Your daughters laugh when you made banana pancakes like we did the other day. The business systems that let you take yesterday afternoon off. Your wife's patience when you were stressed last week. The reason why this works is because specificity rewires your brain to notice gratitude moments throughout your day. You're training yourself to look for what's working, not for what's broken. Part number two is expressed gratitude. Gratitude in your head doesn't actually build relationships. You have to express them. Every day, pick one person from your ring one or your ring two circles and express specific gratitude. You could thank your spouse for handling meal prep this week. Tell your son you saw him help his sister without being asked, and enforce the character that that's building. Do this for 10 days leading up to the holiday, and by the time the holiday actually comes, your ring one family is already in a rhythm of gratitude. And part number three is the pre-holiday family gratitude ritual. So the night before the big gathering, sit down with those in your immediate circle, your spouse and your kids. No phones, 10 minutes. And everyone shares one thing they're grateful for about the family you're about to see. They share one thing they're looking forward to the next day and one thing they're nervous about and how you'll handle it together as a team. This primes everyone with gratitude and lets you address concerns in advance. And if you want a pro move between now and that holiday gathering, write a handwritten letter of gratitude to each person in your inner circle. Include one specific thing that you're grateful for about who they are. One memory from this year that you'll carry forever, and one thing you're excited to experience with them in the coming year. Give them those letters the morning of your holiday gathering or before the meal. You might just find it's the most important few minutes that it takes to write those down that you spent all year. In the Oola framework and in my coaching, we talk about the ready, set, go system, and I'll do a deep dive on that another day, and the Hazmat suit and how to let things kind of bounce off of you, how to be prepared for that during the holiday season. I'm going to filter through again just a little bit of the holidays, so a little bit of a different take on this. But now that you've mapped your rings, you've built gratitude, let's talk about the toxic uncle, the passive-aggressive in-law, or the sibling who always picks a fight. And that's where this concept of the hazmat suit strategy comes in. In toxic environments, whether chemical spills or toxic family dynamics, you don't show up unprepared. You suit up, you protect yourself because you're wise and prepared. So step one in Ready, Set, Go is to identify the blockers, map the toxic family members in ring 2, and set boundaries. Before you get together, you're going to answer 4 very simple questions. Which one of the blockers is active for me right now? Name it. You can't manage what you don't acknowledge. You could write that down to work on it. Number 2 is who in that second ring is toxic. Look at your 3 rings map that you already wrote out and which ring 2 relationship consistently drains you. Look at your 3 rings map. You already wrote this out. Who in your ring number 2 relationships consistently drain you, disrespect those in your inner circle, or create chaos around you? And number 3 is what boundaries do I need with those toxic people in that second ring? Remember, boundaries aren't about controlling their behavior. Boundaries define your behavior and your response. For example, I will not stay if people are yelling. I will not engage in political debates. I highly encourage that. I will not allow my kids from ring 1 to be disrespected by anyone, including those in ring 2. And I will leave by 7 p.m., no exception. If you write that down, that's your preparation. It's your mental prep. It's your hazmat suit. And then number 4 is how will I communicate the boundaries in advance? And this is critical because if you do it in the heat of the moment, that usually will cause tension. Setting those boundaries up front, that's where you can really smooth over the holidays. For example, hey, insert name, we're looking forward to Thursday. Just a heads up, we're going to be leaving by 7 p.m. because the kids have school on Friday. Just wanted you to know in advance. Or, I love you, but we're not going to talk politics this year. I want us to actually enjoy our time together, so if it comes up, I'll politely change the subject. Are some people going to push back? Yeah, they probably will, and that's okay, because a boundary without consequences is just a suggestion. Second, in the Ready, Set, Go holiday edition, is to activate the 7 Oola Accelerators. So the blockers hold you back, but the 7 Oola Accelerators actually help to propel you forward. These let you respond instead of react, show up with love instead of leading with anger. Accelerator number 1 is gratitude. And this is so huge for the entire year. Filter your year through the word gratitude, and it will absolutely change your perspective on life. But in this case, before your holiday gathering, before you walk in, just take a second and pause. Name 3 things you're grateful for about that particular gathering, and that will shift your posture from defense to openness. Number 2 is love. Remember why you're showing up. You love your family, even the messy parts. Love doesn't mean tolerating abuse, but it means choosing compassion when possible. Accelerator number 3 is discipline. Do what you said you'd do. You set a boundary, right? Enforce it. You said you'd leave by 7 p.m. Leave at 7 p.m. Your integrity depends on it. Number 4 is integrity. You're modeling for ring 1 what healthy relationships look like. If you let someone from ring 2 disrespect you, you're teaching your kids that that's acceptable, and it's not. Number 5 is passion. Stay connected to your why. Why protect your peace? Because you want to be a present, healthy dad. Because you want to enjoy the holidays, not just survive them. Number 6 is humility. You can't fix everyone. You can't make a parent apologize or your sibling grow up. You can only control you. Sometimes the most humble thing is simply accepting. Accelerator number 7 is wisdom. Not every comment needs a response. Not every argument needs to be won. Pick your battles wisely. And then the final step in the Ready, Set, Go holiday edition is to execute, enforce, and debrief. You've identified the blockers, you've mapped out toxic ring 2, you've set boundaries, you've communicated them, and you've activated your accelerators. Now it's time to go to the gathering. During the gathering, stick to your boundaries, no negotiating. If someone from the toxic ring 2 circle crosses a line that threatens those in your inner circle, enforce the consequence immediately. Use the accelerators to stay grounded like gratitude, love, and discipline. And then after the gathering, debrief with your spouse. What went well? What didn't? What could you change for the next holiday gathering? You could journal if you like, process, but don't shove your emotions down. And then finally celebrate. If you held a boundary, even if imperfectly, that's a win. So let's get super practical. Here are the 5 most common difficult holiday scenarios, and I want to give you some scripts that you can ponder, personalize into yourself to help make your holiday season brighter. First scenario, Unsolicited parenting advice. We've all had that, right? An in-law says, if you just let them cry it out, they'd sleep better. The wrong way to respond to that would be, times have changed, Karen. The right way would be to respond with love and humility. I appreciate you trying to help. We found what works for our family, but thank you for caring. Then change the subject. Can you pass the turkey? Scenario number 2 is the political landmine. These usually come from ring 2 or ring 3 of your concentric circles. So an uncle starts ranting about politics. Instead of engaging, arguing, and ruining dinner, you could respond with wisdom and discipline. I love you, but I'm not talking politics this year. I really want to enjoy the family time. Who wants pie? If he pushes, you could say, I hear you. I'm stepping outside for a minute. Then do it. Scenario number 3, the guilt trip. This usually comes from someone in your ring 2 circle. A parent says, I can't believe you're leaving already. Don't you love us? The wrong way to respond to that would be to cave, to stay, to resent it, and then probably snap at those in your inner circle in the car. The right way to respond would be with integrity and passion. We love you. That's why we're leaving now. We want quality time, not exhausted time. We'll see you soon. And then just leave. Scenario number 4 is the passive aggressive dig, and we all love these ones. Sibling or a cousin says, must be nice to afford that vacation. Some of us have real jobs. You could scream back that you work 80 hours a week and have no time for anything. But a better way to respond would be with humility and love. Sounds like things are tough for you. Is there anything I can do to help? Extend compassion. Their dig is usually their own pain. Another scenario is disrespect towards those in your inner circle. Someone says or makes a snide comment to your wife or belittles your kid. The wrong way to respond would be out of fear, and that would be to do nothing. The right way to respond is with integrity and discipline immediately. You could say, I need you to stop. That's not okay. And then to your wife or to your kid, hey, let's take a step outside. Depending on the severity, of course, and you need to hold a firm boundary, you can leave. We're heading out now. We can try again when everyone can be respectful. This is the hill to die on. It's always with your inner circle. Ring 1 always wins. So here's your complete action plan. Do this before the next holiday gathering. Identify your primary blocker. Which of those 7 is the most active? Name it, write it down. Map the 3 family rings. Who's in ring number 1, number 2, and number 3, and who in ring number 2 especially are healthy and who are toxic. Number 3 is to set boundaries for those who are toxic from ring number 2. What are your non-negotiables? When will you leave? Number 4 is to communicate boundaries in advance. You can actually write out the script. Practice with your spouse, send the text or call before the event. And number 5, practice the 3-part gratitude framework. For the 10 to 14 days before that holiday gathering, invoke personal gratitude, express gratitude daily, and then use the pre-holiday family ritual the night before to all be on the same page. Number 6 is to activate your 7 accelerators. Before you walk in, list 3 things you're grateful for. Write down your why you show up. What do you want to model for ring 1? And choose 1 act of love and compassion. The final step is number 7, plan your exit strategy. What time are you leaving? What if things go south? Get aligned with your spouse. And number 8, schedule that post-event debrief. For a few minutes the next day with your spouse, what went well, what didn't, what should we change for next time? So we've zoomed in. Let's zoom way out for a second, because this isn't just about surviving holidays. This is about the legacy that you're instilling in your family. Your inner circle, your kids, they're watching. They're watching how you handle conflict. They're watching whether you let those in ring 2 walk all over you. They're watching whether you explode or whether you respond with boundaries and love. And they're learning. If you tolerate disrespect, they learn love means tolerating disrespect. If you explode, they learn that's how you handle conflict. But if you set boundaries with love, they learn that self-respect and compassion can actually coexist. One day, your kids will be adults facing their own difficult relationships. What tools have you given them? The most important tools are the ones that you've modeled. Is this uncomfortable? Yes. Those in ring number 2 might be upset with you, but your job isn't to manage toxic emotions. Your job is to be the strategic shepherd of your inner circle, to protect your peace and to model with integrity. That's exactly what you're doing with the Holiday Harmony Framework. So now it's your turn. Map out your holiday plan. List out your blockers, your accelerators, go through your concentric rings, and define the boundaries over your time and over your family. in love and gratitude this holiday season. And if you know another dad who needs this, send it and comment which blocker is your biggest challenge. If you need more than holiday strategies, if you need a complete system for scaling your business while deepening your family relationships, join the 5-day Boss Dad Challenge. We'll go through all 4 pillars of the Boss Dad framework: balanced owner, strategic shepherd, and wrap up with a powerful day 5. You can register for that at beabossdad.com. The holidays can be hard. Some of you are dreading getting together with family, with friends, but you don't have to. You can map out the rings, you can build gratitude, you can set boundaries, you can activate the accelerators, you can show up with the integrity that you are modeling for your family. And when you do, you stop being a victim of circumstances and you start being the leader your inner circle needs. You've got this. Win at business, win at life, be a boss dad.